40 something you moved down to New Mexico?
Yeah, I lived in Brunswick and Jacksonville, and folks, all my people was there.
So your growing up days, you didn't move away from the South until you were way into an adulthood. So both of y'all know that one of the big topics in the country right now is what's going on race-wise. There's a whole lot of stuff regarding race that people are talking about today, but I recognize y'all were born in the early and middle 1940s, and when you became teenagers in the 1950s, segregation was going on in the South, and racism
Coming to an end then.
Okay, but racism was at its all-time high when y'all, other than slavery. But I want to get your memories of what you remember at that time, what it was like being a teenager, how that made y'all feel, and what you witnessed during these times.
You want to go first?
Oh, yes. We was always strictly whites in our school. And when I was coming up, everybody was white. Everybody was white. And then when they started integrating, it still didn't bother me. I didn't like some of the things that the Ku Klux Klan done. I did not like that at all. Even as a child, I knew that's not right to treat the black people like that.
We had a mother,
Yeah,
a Christian mother,
a Christian
that kept
mother.
us straight, that
Yeah.
God loved them just
Yeah.
like He loved us.
That's right.
And that's where my father was racist, very racist.
Yes,
And,
that he was.
I didn't know my grandmother was until I talked on the porch we had one day. But the whole, are you through?
Yeah.
Tell me about what you
Go ahead, I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
tell me about what you saw your grandmother do.
We were sitting on the front porch and on Jacksonville, Florida. We had big white rocking chairs on this old mansion, used to be at one time, and they fixed it up, and it was a beautiful home. And we were sitting on the front porch, and this elderly black lady come walking by with her hair tied up and taking her groceries home and just walking along. And Grandma said, "Look at there. She thinks she's just as good as anybody." And I'd never heard her say anything.
No.
And I said, "Well, Grandma, she is. She's not hurting nobody." I said, "She's just taking her groceries home." Well, at the time, the Black Panthers was fighting for civil rights and stuff, and it was all over the TVs. And she says, "Well, you just wait. One day they're going to be marrying and marry white and black and everything. Then you'll see. You'll see." Oh, she was right. That's exactly what happened. But I'd never heard Grandma talk that way, talk down, because she wasn't doing anything. If it wasn't for a black woman, my daddy couldn't have made it. Grandma could not feed Daddy, but there was a black woman that worked for them that was feeding her baby, so she fed Daddy, because Grandma's milk had dried up. He was fed and kept alive by a black woman. And this is something they didn't like to talk about too much, but I know because I heard it. And they thought they used her like a cow, is what they did. Instead of, I don't know if they ever thanked her for what she did for Daddy, but Grandma had 7 children, and Daddy was the baby. And she was in her 40s. He was a change of life baby, they called him. And she got childbirth fever or something. She got sick. Anyway, she had no milk for Daddy. But that black wet nurse fed my father. And you would think that there would be some kind of thankfulness there. I never heard that. I didn't hear that out of them. Matter of fact, they didn't care to talk about it. But she kept Daddy alive.